Hello everyone, today I'm reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Ooh, we waited quite a while for this one, haven't we? Now, full disclosure here, this will be a no spoiler review. I know some of you guys out there haven't seen the movie yet. Maybe y'all just haven't had the time this week. Maybe it's just been busy weeks. I'm just gonna give a spoiler-free review for now, but very soon I will do a spoiler discussion because there are some things that I would like to talk about. Yeah, so James Gunn is at it once again, delivering another great movie in the MCU. This is something that's been long overdue, and it's kind of sad. We've gotten so much Marvel content lately, and the only two really good movies is this one and No Way Home. So let's talk about it. We return once again with Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, 2014 Gamora, Nebula, the talking dog, Cosmo the talking dog, Raglan, and of course, Rocket. Now, I came into this movie expecting a few things, and I wasn't disappointed, but I didn't necessarily get what I was completely expecting. Though if I completely told you guys right now, that would be quite a spoiler, but I have to say it was a very decent experience. There's a bunch of emotional moments in here, and there are a few moments that are pretty hard to watch. Yeah, this one gets really dark. This time around, we dive into Rocket's backstory, and this backstory is brutal. It's insanely tear-jerking, what happens to the poor guy. I really like how that's executed throughout the movie. We just switch from flashback to current, from flashback back to current. It's kind of like how I did the Chase a Shadow movie, and I really like when I see other people do that as well. It's one of my favorite types of storytelling. Though I gotta say, I'm surprised he was able to go this dark for a Marvel movie. Like, wow. I gotta say, there are some characters that really weren't that well developed before, and they get a decent amount of development here, like Drax, Nebula, and Mantis. This movie really presents the best versions of every character, especially since this is the last time we're gonna see all these characters all together. Now, if there are a few things that I didn't really like about the movie, one of them was how they handled Adam Warlock. Now, the last time we saw him was from the end credits of Guardians 2. Everyone expected this guy to be a big deal sometime down the line, and 6 years later, this guy comes back, and that's pretty disappointing how he was handled. I mean, don't get me wrong, he has his badass moments, but it's very few and far in between. I felt like they should have focused a little bit more on him, but I don't know, I felt like James Gunn just threw him in there because, oh crap, I totally forgot about that guy. But another issue that I have was the pacing. I felt like it took a little bit too long for the characters to meet with the High Evolutionary. I think that would have happened if they tightened up the pacing a little bit, but those are only two things that I have an issue about. Now, there are a couple other things that I maybe didn't like, but I'm a little bit more okay with now, thinking more about it, but, that's a spoiler, so I won't talk about it yet. But then again, let me talk about the villain, the High Evolutionary. This guy is freaking menace. This guy is the most evil villain we have gotten in the MCU. I know ever since Thanos, it's been a trend to make these villains redeemable or have some sort of tragic character arc. But with this one, there's no redeeming quality about him. This guy is just a straight up asshole. Like, seriously, like, his scenes with Rocket Raccoon and the animals, those poor animals, they're brutal. They're absolutely brutal. These are the most brutal scenes I've seen in a Marvel movie. I think they kind of take it a bit far with these scenes, but if you really think about it, the whole purpose of these brutal scenes, I think it's a perfect way to get an audience to really hate an antagonist. And James Gunn does this perfectly with the portrayal of the freaking High Evolutionary. I mean, if you really think about it, there's a parallel with High Evolutionary and Sid from Toy Story 1. I mean, once you watch it, you'll see what I mean. There's some inspiration there for this villain. That's Disney for you, baby. Now, this may be a hot take, but I really liked how they handled Gamora. I felt like what they did with her and the rest of the team was really well executed story-wise. I know it's been a debate about how they handled her, but I think they wrote her character in a pretty realistic way. I mean, if you just really consider, this is a different Gamora. She's not going to end up feeling the same way as the previous one did. And when you think about it, it makes sense. And I can't not mention the action. The action in this movie is insane. There are a couple one-take action scenes that I really loved. And I noticed that James Gunn used a lot of fisheye angles for this. And I'm like, wow, I noticed that. That's something I tried with the iPhone 11 for Chase's Shadow, and I'm like, wow, I really want to learn that technique. I really wondered what camera he used for this movie. I could tell with some of the Warlock shots, he's practicing for that new Superman Legacy movie that he's working on. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing more fisheye shots in his planned DC movies. And another thing, this movie is hilarious. There are so many funny moments. This is a rarity in the MCU where the jokes actually work and they don't really screw with the tone. You know, in these previous Marvel movies, the humor just hasn't been working well, but with this one, the humor is excellent. This movie had me actually laughing for once, and I really liked that. I really missed that James Gunn humor. Now, overall, this is a great conclusion to the Guardians trilogy. I liked how it didn't really tie into the overarching Kang narrative because it really didn't need to. This movie understands that it's strictly just a Guardian story that happens to be in the MCU. So James Gunn really knew what he was doing here with concluding all of these characters' story arcs. And it was done very well. So I'm gonna give this movie a B. Yeah, Guardians 3 was a great time. I really enjoyed it, and I really hope that there will be more movies like this coming forward. Hopefully the Marvels will be somewhat decent. I don't know what to expect from that movie, but you know, fingers crossed. It might be decent, it might not. We'll find out. I'll review it. And don't forget to review Chase's Shadow Part 1 and Part 2, and leave your thoughts and reviews in the comments of those videos, and I'll give you guys a shout out in the next video. So far, no one has done that yet, but that's okay. I am working on growing that audience and grinding on this channel because that's what I'm here to do. Well, with that said, I will see you guys later. Hello? Am I gonna blow up? Am I gonna disappear? Come on, guys, I don't have all day.